Hi, and welcome back on my series on Braille Contractions. In this video, I'm going to feature lower contractions or lower group signs that can be used at any part of a word. Now, in my previous two videos on contractions, I already discussed and shared with you the other types of lower group signs. The first one was about lower group signs that can only be used at the beginning of the word, such as be or be, con, and this. And recently, I also uploaded another video on lower group signs that can be used in the middle of a word. So if you'd like to check those previous videos, kindly check my playlist on Braille. And I will also be affixing the link of that playlist uh, in the description of this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So the two lower group signs that can be used at or in any part of a word are the group signs for en and in. En is composed of dots 2, 6. On the other hand, in or in is composed of dots 3, 5. So en 2, 6, in 3, 5. Now in this video, I'm just going to focus on these two contractions as group signs, not as word signs. So uh, if you remember, group signs used to be called as part word contractions. So these are these two in this video will just be focused on how these two contractions are used as group sign. Next, let's go to um, some of the rules and guidelines in using these two lower group signs. So basically, as the title of this video says, these two contractions or these two lower group signs can be used or may be used in any part of a word. They are the only group signs that can be used at the end of the word. So if you remember in the previous two videos, uh, those are focused on group signs that can be used at the beginning, and the last one was group signs that can be used in the middle of the word. So these two are probably the only contractions or lower group signs that can be used at the end of a word. So the only lower group signs that can be used at the end of a word. So let's check some examples on how these group signs are used. So let's have these examples. For en, so we have the word and or end. So we have there the group sign en or n is used at the beginning of the word. Next, we have uh, the word deny, spelled as D-E-N-Y. So we have en there used at the middle of the word. And next, we have here the word gentleman. We have the contraction or the lower group sign en used twice in this word. So G, and then you have en, the contraction for en, and then you have en also at the end of the word, at the end of this word gentleman. Okay, next is for in. So for in, we have the word in spelled as I-N-N. So in there is used at the beginning of the word in. And then you have winter. So in or in is used at or in the middle of the word winter. And then you have the word spin. S-P-I-N. I-N is used at the end of the word spin. So take note of the contractions for En. The contraction for the lower group sign En is composed of dots 2, 6, and for In is composed of dots 3, 5. Now let's take another rule. Let's go to the choice of contraction that we can use uh, in in a word. No? So as in my previous videos, it is it is preferred that strong group signs are used, no, instead of the lower group signs. So particularly the strong group sign for for the or for the, and also the strong group sign for ing. So there are words wherein you would need to choose whether you're going to use the strong group sign for the, or you're going to use the contraction for the lower group sign for en. It will be revealed in the succeeding examples, as well as for ing. So there are words that uh, you need to decide whether you're going to use in or ing. So in most cases, there are a few exceptions. The strong group signs, the or the and ing are preferred. As there is a rule that an upper group sign has or is preferred, no, over lower group signs. So let's go straight to the examples. The first one is the word then. Now, you would think that you can use the contraction for the, or you would also think that you can use the contraction for en. But since the rule states that strong group sign, in this case, the group sign for the is preferred, so we will not use the contraction for the lower group sign for en. Another thing is that we can save more space, no? Since the contraction for the will be using three braille spaces, unlike the contraction for en. Another example is for the word lengthen. Now, in the word lengthen, we can use the contraction for en after L, no? So L-E-N, so we can contract en there. But uh, for the last en, okay, we will not be able to use, since we will prefer the contraction for the. Okay, next is, okay, for the word spring, okay, instead of using the contraction for in, we will be using the contraction for ing, which is composed of that's 3, 4, 6. Okay, aside from it is indeed a strong group sign, we can also save more spaces, braille spaces. Next is the word nightingale. No? For the word nightingale, we can contract the GH as well as the ING. It is in the middle of the word. So instead of using IN, we will use the contraction for ING. Next, uh, here's another rule, and this is the exception that I mentioned earlier. The in contraction, the contraction for IN, is used for words that begin with the letters ing, simply because the contraction for ing cannot be used. That's a rule. Cannot be used. The ing or the ing contraction cannot be used at the beginning of a word. So the group sign for ing cannot be used at the beginning of a word. It can be used in the middle of a word or at the end of the word, but not or at the beginning of the word. So instead of uh, using ing, we can make use of the contraction for in or in. So here is an example of that. Uh, So the example is here. The word ingredients. Now instead of since we cannot use the group sign for ing, then we need to use the group sign for in, for in. And we can also contract the other group signs for ed and also for en in the word ingredients. Next, let's go to another rule, the lower sign rule. So what is this rule about? Now, the rule states that we can use any number of lower group signs and lower punctuation signs together, provided the sequence includes an upper sign. So let me read it again. We can use any number of lower group signs and lower punctuation signs provi together, provided that the sequence includes an upper sign. So as we know that the lower group signs uh, make use of dots 2, 3, 5, and 6. So if they are in a sequence, now even the punctuations can also be the punctuations are actually lower signs. So in this case, we need to have at least one upper sign to be able to use these lower group signs or lower signs together in a sequence. So just one upper sign is needed. Otherwise, we cannot use all lower signs. So let's take some examples. So for this word, which is coated, the word is linen. So we have two contractions here. The contraction for the lower group sign for in as well as for en. And since we have punctuation here, which is an opening and closing quotation mark. The opening quotation mark is also a lower group sign or a lower sign, which is lower h, and the closing is lower j. Uh, Without the upper sign of letter L, we cannot actually use the two lower group signs. But since we have a an upper sign in the letter L, since letter L is an upper sign, it has that one there. Uh, yeah, that one together with dots 2 and 3. So it is an upper sign braille symbol. So we can actually make use of the two contractions, the two lower group signs for in, en, as well as the punctuation marks, which are also lower signs. But we cannot use the contraction for uh, these two lower group signs. So the other word is bn or bn. That's bein. So we cannot use the contraction for be, which is lower b, and for in, which is composed of dots 3, 5, simply because there is no upper sign here. And so we need to what? Instead of having the contraction for in, we need to write the letters in. So we cannot contract in here. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something for this new set of contractions, the lower group signs that can be used at any part or in any part of a word. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you and God bless us.